Thursday, October 28th, 2021, and the morning edition is live. On today's show, the Prime Minister lays out improper borrowing practices by the former administration. Another COVID-related death reported. Deaf Awareness Month is right around the corner. And two Bahamians go head-to-head in the NBA. So let's start the morning off right.
Good morning, everyone, and welcome to the morning edition. I'm LaDawn Davis. Taking a look at your weather forecast this morning, a weak frontal boundary will continue to dissipate across the central Bahamas, while a stronger secondary cold front, along with its associated activity, is expected to migrate into the extreme northwest Bahamas late tonight through tomorrow morning. High temperature today is 91 degrees with an overnight low of 77 degrees.
Prime Minister the Honorable Philip Davis taking the floor in the House of Assembly yesterday, laying out the improper borrowing practices by the former administration and what his government will do as it sets the foundation for a new era in the country's development.
The numbers provided by the Ministry of Finance for the period ending the 30th of September 2021 reveal a $1 billion difference from the numbers provided by the previous government in their pre-election report. $1 billion difference. Fiscal Responsibility Act requires the pre-election report, which I've referred, to be signed both by the Minister of Finance and the Financial Secretary. I will leave it to the Bahamian people to judge. I leave it to the Bahamian people to judge whether a $1 billion difference between the report and the reality reflected an honest, whether the reality reflected an honest and true commitment to fiscal transparency.
Minister of Health and Wellness, the Honorable Dr. Michael Darville, updating parliamentary colleagues on the critical steps taken to advance the local fight against the COVID-19 pandemic. He says it continues to be the country's greatest challenge.
Over the last 6 weeks, I've had an opportunity to review many important aspects of our country healthcare system and to see it for what it really is: broken, overburdened, and desperately struggling to meet the healthcare needs of our people. To put it plain and simple, our medical infrastructure is crumbling. There is a manpower shortage. Our staff is overworked, and our nurses are exiting the system as fast as we train them.
The pandemic has no doubt taken students on a roller coaster ride from a complete shutdown to full virtual, hybrid, and face-to-face, leading to what is believed to be an enormous adverse effect. Citing data obtained from UNESCO, Minister of Education, Technical and Vocational Training, the Honorable Glenys Hanna-Martin disclosed in Parliament that the effects of interrupted learning may be generational. Hoping to get a better understanding of the local fallout, the Ministry of Education has enlisted the expertise of the Department of Statistics. And while those results are not yet known, the minister says what they do know so far, it's a matter of grave concern.
As it seems clear that thousands of children at varying levels of the educational spectrum have either been completely absent for the entirety of this crisis or have been worryingly inconsistent in attendance via virtual classes. Some children would very likely have been more greatly affected than others, and there are enhanced concerns for children with special needs who would have faced unique barriers in a virtual learning environment. Some schools have been more greatly affected than others. UNESCO's analysis indicates that it could, and I quote, take a decade to return to the situation before the pandemic.
In a brief communication to Parliament, Deputy Prime Minister and Minister for Tourism, Aviation and Investments, the Honourable Chester Cooper, clarified the policy regarding vaccination requirements for cruise ship passengers visiting the Bahamas. This in the face of what he called a tourism resurgence.
The current emergency orders, which expire on November 13, 2021, provides that all passengers arriving by cruise must be vaccinated. As these provisions expire shortly, there has been some anxiety in the cruise industry given their need for forward planning. Madam Speaker, as I have indicated publicly, I now formally foreshadow on the record of this Parliament that next week the minister responsible will lay in this Parliament rules under the Health Services Act. The relevant rule will provide specifically that a person entering the Bahamas on a cruise ship must be fully vaccinated prior to embarkation and shall, whilst cruising in the Bahamas, be subject to the testing requirements mandated by the cruise line operators as approved by the minister. In short, Madam Speaker, this is a message to the cruising community, in effect, that the status quo on this matter shall remain.
If you're planning a trip to the United States, you may be interested in the latest from the Center for Disease Control and Prevention. Starting November 6, foreign air travelers will be required to not only be fully vaccinated, but provide proof prior to boarding an airline. It's also important to note that all fully vaccinated travelers will still be required to show proof of a negative COVID-19 test taken no more than 3 days before traveling. Children under the age of 18 are exempt from the vaccination requirement. However, those between the ages of 2 and 17 will still need to present a negative COVID-19 test result. Another COVID-19 related death being reported by the Ministry of Health. The latest victim is a 63-year-old male of New Providence who died on October 5th. That takes the death toll nationwide to 643, with 60 deaths still under investigation. As for new cases, 27 were reported, 9 on New Providence, 5 on Crooked Island, 3 each on Cat Island, Ackland, and Andros, and 2 each on Grand Bahama and Abaco. Hospitalizations are down to 86, with 14 in the intensive care unit. There are 57 new recoveries, taking that total to 20,318.
As an artist, I travel all over the world and I find inspiration all around me, from the people and especially the environment. I love the Bahamas with all its natural beauty, from Abaco in the north to Inagua in the south and all the wonderful and colorful islands in between. But we must all do our part to keep the Bahamas healthy and clean, now and for the future generations. That's why I want you to find a little time to do your part. I'm doing my part because I care. Do you?
Large beach and pool parties are not ideal in this COVID environment, but keeping just a few friends close while in the water is actually a good idea. So here's another pointer. They say the more the merrier, and when you're planning on spending a day of fun in the water, that might be what you want to do. Swimming with someone else, especially when doing aquatic activities, is a standard safety practice. If you're by yourself and there's an emergency, having someone to call for help or assist is much better than struggling alone.
Swimming with a buddy, not swimming alone, allowing you to have the ability to have somebody with you if you get into trouble. It's nice to be able to go in a social environment with a buddy and be able to talk and enjoy the environment.
Crystal Darling, ZNS Digital Media.
Did you know that if a fire starts in your home, you may have as little as 2 minutes to escape? Keep your family and home safe with these few fire safety preparation and prevention tips. Ensure that your home has working smoke detectors. They will alert you if there is smoke and fire in your home. Install a smoke detector on every level of your home, inside each bedroom and outside each sleeping area. Test smoke detectors every month and change the batteries every 6 months. Home fires can spread rapidly and every second counts. Create an escape plan and practice it with everyone in your home. Make sure everyone can safely escape in less than 2 minutes. Keep escape routes as clutter-free as possible so no one trips or falls on the way out during an emergency. In addition to smoke detectors, fire extinguishers is an important device to have on hand. To use a fire extinguisher, remember the acronym PASS. Pull the pin, aim the nozzle, squeeze the handle, and sweep from side to side at the base of the fire. We must all do our parts to ensure that our families and homes are safe in the event a fire occurs. On behalf of the Commissioner of Police, the Director of Fire Services, and all officers of the Fire Department, let's work together to help prevent fires, because fire safety is everyone's responsibility, and the life you save may be your own.
Police warning the public to be on their guard against scammers looking for every opportunity to snare unsuspecting victims. Fern Carey sat down with the head of the Financial Crime Branch, who provides more insight on this issue.
The recent uptick in online fraud is a major concern for members of the Financial Crimes Investigation Branch, who say scammers are using more sophisticated methods to manipulate unsuspecting victims online in order to con them out of money. Officer in charge of the Financial Crimes Investigation Branch, Chief Superintendent Matthew Edgecombe, is urging everyone to watch out for scammers. He also referenced an email, probably sent to countless others, from an alleged businessman in Ghana offering persons a significant share in a $750 million scheme.
I received an email too from somebody who said they calling from Guyana, writing from Guyana, and they said that they're working for a company who have $750 million that they want to get out of Guyana. Then they had asked and say if I could, the email saying that, well, I'll have to send them my information, my banking information, my email, a copy of my documents, and I get 50% of what they send out. That's a red flag, all right? And don't be tricked into that.
Residents are also being advised to be aware of persons advertising items for sale like cars and asking for potential buyers to transfer money into the culprit's account.
These criminals online who put up stuff for sale and they give it to you at a very, very good price. For instance, I just talked about a vehicle. They will put up a nice vehicle and they will say it's offered for a certain amount. And you're looking at it, you say that's a good buy. But that's only a way of getting you to release your funds to them. There's no vehicle. They pull a picture down somewhere.
While free Wi-Fi may seem like a blessing, Edgecombe says it is another avenue fraudsters are using to wreak havoc on people's finances. And he warned that Wi-Fi in the home should be protected at all times.
Please, protect your Wi-Fi in your home with a password. Don't let it be open to everybody. We know of incidents for people sitting in front of your home and do stuff. Don't forget now, your Wi-Fi have a lot of your information on it. All right, some other stuff, private stuff is there on your Wi-Fi, what you do every day. So I'm saying to you, make that strictly with a password.
As Deaf Awareness Month approaches, hearing at all levels is being encouraged. This morning, Lloyd Allen speaks with an expert who says there are signs that every parent should look out for.
Whether you're a child or a child at heart, having fun is an important part of life. And as Deaf Awareness Month approaches, there are some things you may need to know to ensure that your hearing is at its optimal.
Dr. Deborah Newbirth says all parents need to be concerned about a child's ability to hear.
One of the most important reasons is for the child to function normal. That means they're able to learn to speak normally, they're able to learn in classroom at a normal pace, they're reading, they're spelling, their language, they're able to function normally in a society when they become adults.
Newbirth adds that teachers may also observe that signs exist that a child may need to have their hearing tested.
When sounds are being made in the room, how is that child responding? Are they startled if it's a loud noise? When every other child is singing, are they also singing? Or are they just mouthing the words?
She says things like delayed responses, poor academic performance, mimicking behavior, and inability to follow instructions or withdrawal, which could come in the form of a child sitting in the back of a class, can all prove as signs that a child may have limited hearing. Regardless of the challenges, technology has come a long way in providing hope to those affected.
We have the OAE screening, that's the Otoacoustic Emission Screening. And there's also the ABR, which is the Auditory Brain Stem test. We can do those, and usually it's a pass-fail.
Dr. Newbirth says high-risk babies, like those who are premature or have suffered from jaundice may have delayed issues. On a detailed level, screenings seem to determine if there is a deficiency and at what level.
The top would be normal hearing, and then after that we have a mild hearing loss, then moderate hearing loss, and as we go up it's going to get worse, moderately severe, severe, and then profound.
The doctor accepts hearing can be a challenge at all stages in life, particularly for the elderly who may begin losing their memory due to limited hearing. For those reasons, she says a national registry across the country is imperative to get the number of people impacted by limited hearing and begin treatment.
What we're hoping at the Center for the Deaf is to go around from island to island and from one corner of New Providence to the next and identify persons with hearing loss that would help us establish a registry so that then we can present that to the government and say this is what we need, and with this information regarding the population, we need these resources in place. And then we can help put those in place, and the Center for the Deaf can become a place where people, no matter where they are in the Bahamas, know I could reach out to this place and I can get the help that I need.
And as Deaf Awareness Month approaches in November, those with challenges are encouraged to reach out to the Center for the Deaf for free testing and other levels of assistance.
And as we head to the break, we take a look back at today in Bahamian history. On October 28, 1958, Desmond Bannister was born. He would go on to be the president of the B3As, a senator, cabinet minister, and deputy prime minister. Also on October 28, 1977, the Met Office opened its first upper atmosphere weather monitoring station at the Nassau International Airport.
It is important that you follow these 4 R's when taking your medications. Right drug. Remember that each medication is specific for each individual, and what may work for one person may not work for the other. Right dose. Taking more or less than what is prescribed by your provider may cause you to either run out of your pills faster, it may affect your kidneys or liver, and it may even worsen your medical condition. Right time. Taking medications when told ensures that you have enough medication in your body to fight off the illness you may have. Right way. If your medication calls for you to take it whole, with food, or at night only, please follow these directions as there may be side effects. Make a commitment today to be adherent to your medication regimen and practice healthy living.
This message has been brought to you by the Bahamas AIDS Foundation with funding provided by PEPFAR, USAID Local Capacity Initiative Small Grant.
During this pandemic, it is our duty to ensure that all citizens, residents, and visitors are adhering to the COVID-19 safety protocols. Every business establishment must have distance markers 6 feet apart, indicating where each customer must stand at check-in points. Have a hand sanitizing station visible at the entrance of the store for all customers to sanitize their hands before entering the store. I am Ambassador Latario Faranjan of the COVID-19 Enforcement Unit. Save a life that may be yours.
This message brought to you by the Ministry of National Security in conjunction with the Broadcasting Corporation of the Bahamas.
Abuse, domestic violence, suicidal tendencies. Are you being stressed out from these problems? Call the national hotline at 422-2763 or 322-2763. There are trained social workers available 24 hours to help you. Know that you are not alone in this.
The World Boxing Championships are taking place this week in Serbia. The Bahamas is being represented by a 2-member team. Carl Heald was in the ring yesterday in the 71-kilogram division. He put up a good fight but came out on the losing end against his American opponent. Rashield Williams also lost his opener in the 67-kilogram division against an opponent from the Republic of Georgia. Two Bahamians go head-to-head last evening in the NBA. Buddy Hield and the Sacramento Kings got out to a slow start against DeAndre Ayton and the Phoenix Suns. However, the Suns would battle back and they won at the buzzer. Both Buddy and DeAndre performed well on the night. Buddy had a side-high 26 points, while DeAndre finished with 21 points and 21 rebounds. Sports Minister the Honorable Mario Boleg is looking to relaunch the Sports in Paradise brand. His comments came during a courtesy call from officials of the North Central American and Caribbean Athletics Confederation. Minister Boleg says athletics is one of those sporting disciplines that has placed the Bahamas on the map, and so they will be an integral part of the rebranding.
Once NACAC is able to come and provide us with information or a blueprint similar to what is used by Canada, in order for us to succeed in the Caribbean, we must be able to use blueprints by those who have gone before us in order for us to make a positive impact on the various disciplines in sports inside the Caribbean. And so with that being said, any information that NACAC can provide my government and this ministry that would help us put plans in place that can be a positive impact not only on the country but also on this ministry. We definitely look forward for those ideas that would allow us to raise to the next level and allow this country to be able to host those major events to have that impact as it relates to Sports in Paradise.
Meantime, Minister Boleg also addressed whether or not the Bahamas would look into bringing the World Relays back to our shores.
The next World Relays is scheduled for 2025, as I was told, and I believe we have sufficient time to make a presentation for the possibility to host. I think I have all of the knowledge around me with President Mike Sands here and the P3As and Tim Munnings, and I believe that they should be able to help me put the proposal together that we can take it to Cabinet and get our approval from Cabinet to proceed forward.
The impact the Bahamas has on the sport of track and field resonates not only here at home, but around the region and the world. During his courtesy call on Minister Mario Boleg, Regional Secretary General Keith Joseph says the Bahamas has made its mark.
The history and the legacy of your participation in our sport is one of which the entire region is decidedly proud. We consider the Bahamas as equally important as the United States or Canada or Jamaica in the development of sport and in their achievements. Because when we compare the achievements of Bahamian athletes relative to population size, then you recognize that the achievements of your athletes are monumental and critical for the people of the Bahamas.
Joseph also highlighted the recent accomplishments of Stephen Gardner and Shawnee Miller-Uibo. He says their impacts will be felt for generations to come.
For young people to be able to see one of each gender making strides at that international level, so that our boys and girls can look forward to continuing a tradition that can only bolster the image of the country at an international level.
Influenza, or the flu as it is commonly called, is a viral illness that usually occurs between the months October to March. The virus is transmitted from person to person through coughing, sneezing, or talking. Symptoms include fever, cough, headache, runny nose, generalized body aches, and fatigue. There is no specific treatment for the flu, and the symptoms usually dissipate after 3 to 7 days. Because it is caused by a virus, antibiotics are not used to treat the flu. Persons are encouraged to rest and drink lots of fluids. Panadol is recommended for fever and body aches associated with the flu. However, aspirin should be avoided due to the risk of bleeding. To decrease the spread of flu, persons are encouraged to get their flu shot annually and practice good cough hygiene. Additional information can be provided by your community clinic or the Health Education Division at the Ministry of Health. This message is brought to you by the Ministry of Health in partnership with the Public Hospitals Authority.
are a few important tips for parents, students, staff, and school visitors to ensure healthy and safe environments for face-to-face learning. Children and staff should remain at home if they display symptoms consistent with COVID-19, such as cough, diarrhea, severe headache, vomiting, or body aches. Have a temperature of 100.4 degrees Fahrenheit or above. Have had contact with an individual diagnosed with COVID-19. Here are additional tips for parents of school-aged children. Ensure that your children are up to date with all recommended vaccines. Provide them with and check their personal protective equipment or PPEs, including hand sanitizers, sanitizing wipes, and hand towels. Provide children with a set of guidelines to govern their movement at school, on the bus, aboard a ferry, or while walking. Teach children proper hygiene and health protocols, such as covering the mouth and nose with a tissue to cough or cough and sneeze into the elbow, and to always practice social distancing. All visitors to school campuses should complete a self-check before seeking entrance. Visitors will not be allowed to enter campuses if they are experiencing symptoms of congestion, dry cough, breathing difficulties, sore throat, and/or chills. Let's follow these steps to ensure a safe and healthy school year.
Dentists across this country are deeply concerned about the high levels of candy kids intake, especially around Halloween. President of the Bahamas Dental Association, Dr. Shamika Strawn, is one of them. Dr. Strawn encouraged parents to be mindful that an excess amount of the sugar monster could pose more harm than good to the teeth of their child or children.
Most kids do not frequently see the dentist. There's a fear of the dentist. And so there's not a balance between the amount of sugar they're exposed to and actually receiving the proper oral health care or proper brushing techniques at home. For that reason, we're all the more concerned because of the amount of candy that's made available to kids around Halloween time. We have to be mindful that they're not only having this candy on Halloween day, but usually there are tons of candy that's stored at home in cupboards in these buckets that kids have access to for weeks after Halloween has passed. And even parents, in their effort not to have them have too many pieces, kids being kids, they're going to find them and sneak them anyway. So we advise that if you're going to participate in Halloween and this trick-or-treat season, that when your kids participate, you discard of any additional candy, make sure that they're brushing, make sure they're flossing, and make sure they're getting their regular dental checkups.
Halloween weekend is fast approaching, and for those of you parents out there looking for something for your child to do, this story may interest you. On Saturday and Sunday, the kids' spooky paint party will take place. This morning, we're joined by the organizers Siobhan Smith and Juliet Butler. Ladies, welcome to the Morning Edition.
So great to be here. Thank you for having us.
And between the two of you, there's a lot of experience in the event and planning and decor. What actually went into getting the event all together?
So I've been doing activities and events in many hotel background experiences. And so I thought finally, with everything that happened with COVID and the pandemic, I should decide, as other entrepreneurs did, to bring this concept to life on my own. And so surely this is the first event for Sage Marketing and Events in our own personal storefront. I'm so happy to say that. And the first thing we wanted to focus on, of course, is Halloween. Halloween is all about celebrating. So we just want to bring this event to life for Halloween, for all the kids. They're private sessions, they're COVID safe. And you know, with virtual assistants coming into play, kids have not been outside. So we want to give them private, safe, COVID-friendly experiences, and of course, fun and lots of candy.
And exactly what will this, this weekend entail?
So there's so much that, you know, this Halloween event entails, and Siobhan is going to give us more detail on the decor, on the event experience, and, you know, what exactly the time and energy it took to bring this event to life.
Okay, good morning, everyone. Thank you, Juliet. My name is Siobhan Smith. The business is called Pisces Decor. Juliet reached out to me from the decor aspect of the business to assist in this event. Initially, I was a little bit nervous because kids' events can be really, really interesting, but I said, you know what, it's Halloween, we're going to take it on. One of the things that's going to be very interesting about this event is that, of course, it's Halloween. From a theme aspect, we're going to have everything Halloween. Spooky creatures, lanterns, spiders, you name it, we're going to have it. What's going to be very interesting about the actual space that we're going to be in, when you enter the door as a kid, when you look up, spiders. When you look on the floor, balloons. When you look on the walls, cobwebs, everything spooky, everything Halloween. So I'm really, really looking forward for the event from the kids aspect of it. Of course, the event itself will entail paintings. We will have movies, we will have candy, we will have pizza, everything Halloween. So we have limited seating. However, we do have a few more bookings, and Ms. Butler can advise what those possible bookings will be.
And talk to us a little bit more about the event.
Okay, Juliet?
So if you're interested, the event has multiple sessions. So we broke it down into sessions to make sure that we make it COVID safe. So in each session, you're going to have a specific amount of kids. Parents are allowed to come, but we are requesting drop-off service due to, of course, the parents being more susceptible to anything in regards of COVID-19. So again, we're being really safe about this, but when they enter, it's going to be like everyone is friends. We're trying to also create a community initiative. So this Sage Marketing and Events Design Studio is made for photographers, event planners, anyone that is interested in doing fun events like this. So for Halloween, we're making sure that they get to see this inside this event. So you'll see lots of things hanging from the ceiling, as Ms. Siobhan has said. You'll see lots of interactive activities like freeze dance and Baby Shark playing in the background. So that is what we're trying to bring to life with this event. We just want to make sure each kid feels welcome and they don't feel the heavy weight of COVID-19 affecting their activity experiences while going to school, while at home. We want to give parents as well as kids an opportunity to take a break from it while still practicing safe procedures.
Siobhan, Juliet, thank you guys so much for joining us here on the Morning Edition, and all the best to you this weekend. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much.
And be sure to stay tuned to the ZNS Network for news as it happens, TV and radio updates throughout the day. Then you can tune into the Northern Edition at 6:30 and the Bahamas Tonight at 7. And that's a wrap for us this morning. For the entire team, I'm LaDawn Davis. Make it a great day, everyone.